G'day folks, and welcome back to another edition of Into the Breach Handyman Tool Reviews. Couple of things to say first before we get into today's video. Number one is I'd like to say thank you for all the subscribers. I haven't put out a video in a very long time. Unfortunately, I just don't have as much time as I'd like to dedicate to the channel, but I do my best. And today we got rained out. I was supposed to be working today, Saturday, do a bit of industrial level gardening, I guess. I was supposed to be doing some trimming and brush cutting, and that got cancelled due to the weather. So here I am. I thought good opportunity to do another, another tool review. And the second thing I'd like to say, in addition to thank you for all the subscribers, it's amazing because I haven't done a video in a very long time, and the amount of subscribers just keeps growing. We try to cut to the chase around here. The bottom line is that there are some really awesome in-depth reviews of what I'm going to be covering here today on YouTube. If you want fancy camera lighting and someone holding it in their hand and discussing their feelings about it and all this other stuff, I'm literally here today just to get to the bare bones of why you'd want to own these products, what I think of them. We're not going to compare them to anything else. All right, I'm going to be covering three general utility working knives. Okay, these are pocket knives, these are everyday carries, these are lock blade utility knives. We're not going to compare them with anything else, because at the end of the day, this isn't a this versus this. There is some amazing knives out there. As long as your budget is willing to pay for it, there's some stuff that you can spend an enormous amount of money on, and is great kit. So Special Forces stuff, Navy SEAL approved stuff. SAS everyday knife that they carry, straight blade, whatever, it's all out there. But what we're here to cover today is just three products that I think are extremely good value for money, and they're the go-to knife. You can have them as an everyday carry if that's your deal. They're fantastic. Throw in the tool bag, throw in the backpack on a on the hiking trail type deal. There have been other in-depth reviews that have criticized some of these products. Personally, I just think value for money. I mean, I've put them through their paces, and I think they perform very well. And that's good value for money is the the objective. Everyone's got a budget, and sometimes you don't have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars or hundreds of pounds to spend on just simply a pocket knife. But I suppose it depends on what you're going to use it for. But the ones we're going to review today are three of my favorite in my workshop. They're good value for money, and I think they're worth your time, and that's the reason we're covering them today. So the first one, almost got ahead of myself there. I'm not going to get into technical specs. I'll put full technical specifications in the video description, and I will also have some close-up stills of each of the products at the end of the video. Today we're just going to be showing them on camera from a distance and getting into a description, what I think of them, and why they're worth your time. But as far as the specs, like the steel, length, width, weight, all that stuff, anything the manufacturer's got to say, I'm going to pull direct from the website. I'll put some links in there for you, and I'll throw that in the description if you're into that kind of stuff. And it is important, because if someone says something is made of stainless steel, personally, I like to know what grade of stainless steel that is, as an example. So let's start with the first one, which, by the way, the manufacturer does specify the steel in this knife. This is the Festool Pocket Knife. And in my opinion, it's full utility, and it's gorgeous. It's got a nice olive wood handle. Traditional style make, because a lot of block blades, they've got the release somewhere up here on the upper part of the handle. This one has got the release in a traditional fashion on the back end. Alright, folds up nicely, fits in your hand nicely, really solid, really weighted, and really nice. I mean, I think Festool just put a little bit of effort into the design of this, and the interesting thing is, traditionally, knives don't have a cavity in the center which passes through. This one is complete. So that's one of the downsides, I suppose. If you get some dust and crud in there, you're going to have it, get a compressed air, wash it out maybe, but it's going to get trapped in there. That's the only downside of the knife I can see. The manufacturer does specify the stainless steel on this one. It's got nice rounded edges. It's just a pleasure to hold in your hand. It's super sharp. The blade holds an edge, extremely good corrosion resistance, and just generally an all-round wonderful utility knife. So that's the Festool Pocket Knife, or sorry, the Festool Working Knife. The next one is one of my favorites. It's, again, These are my three favorites, so I suppose they're all about equal. This is the Stanley Fatmax Pocket Knife, or Pocket Utility Knife, if you will. It's got a little flip-out handle on the side where you can get your thumb. Critics might say you should have known the name of what that was called. I don't really care. Okay? It flips out really nicely. It locks really nicely. I've never had it come unlocked, but again, this is the more modern style to do pocket knives, where the release for the lock blade is on the inside upper part of the handle. So you've got to put it up by the top, press that in, and then it folds down. One of the nicer features about this is a combination stainless steel and aluminium chassis. So it's got a metal interior, steel rather. I don't think the inside is stainless. The blade itself is, and the outside grip is aluminium, depending on what part of the world you're from. It's got a nice finger release at the top, so you just press that out, grab it by your thumb, flips out really quickly. They do specify that this is a stainless steel knife, but Stanley hasn't given away any secrets as far as I'm aware about what grade. It's got a nice little belt clip on the back. All right, it's nicely weighted. It's got a combination of straight, angular, and serrated edge. It's just a nice knife. I mean, if you were ever going to just buy an inexpensive, general purpose utility pocket knife lock blade, I don't think you can go wrong with the Stanley Fatmax for the money. As I said before at the beginning of the video, good value for money. Now, the other more widely reviewed item I'm going to talk about is the Gerber ArmBar. All right. Now, this has received a lot of criticism for what it is. Okay, but personally, I just think it's one of the coolest. I guess it is a lock blade utility knife, but it's also like a mini multi-tool. So it's got a can opener at the top. I use this to open my beer. It's got a lock blade. By the way, this one was engraved by my, I got this from my in-laws for my birthday. So this is the, there's a couple different variants in the Gerber ArmBar. This one is the wine opener version. So it's got a wine opener, it's got a pair of scissors, and it's got your can opener utility grabber. Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, I'm pretty sure Gerber specifies the grade of steel, but I'm not 100% sure on that. A lot of times Gerber, I've seen a lot of specs, and it does specify stainless steel, but it doesn't necessarily specify what grade, what kind. It is super small. It folds up really nicely, sits in your hand just like that. It's relatively weighted, but also it's actually quite light. Now, this one in particular, this particular ArmBar, is the one I keep in my kitchen. I use this for opening boxes, I use this for cutting open packages, opening mail, and I get my wine opener just in the kitchen. So I just keep this in the drawer in the kitchen. I don't actually have this in my tool bag. There is another variant of this that the wine opener is a screwdriver. So you can pop out the screwdriver bits and change it. I think it comes with a Phillips and a flathead, you know, in terms of what actually comes stock with it. Now, maybe if you put this to the extreme test, it might not be as good as some of the other multi-tool utility pocket knives on the market, but personally, I just think it's generally really useful. So again, you've got the Festool working knife. You've got the Stanley Fatmax Pocket Knife, and you've got the Gerber ArmBar. These three I use all the time. And again, I'm not saying they're better or worse than anything else. I just think for the price, you can't go wrong. Okay? The most expensive one here, I think, was the Gerber ArmBar. I think that sits around 45 pounds. I don't know what it retails for in the stateside or other parts of the globe, or Canada for that matter, because that's where I'm from. The Stanley Fatmax is consistently about 20 pounds here in the UK. And I picked this beauty up for I think £16.50 with delivery. I think it's because of where it's made. I suspect they're all made in some region of Asia, but the Festool working knife, I'm not 100% sure if it is actually made in China, but I would lay money on it, because if I'm not mistaken, the grade of steel they use is Chinese steel. But it's excellent. It holds an edge, and again, it's got exceptional corrosion resistance. So yeah, I just think between the three, I'm not going to put one above the other, but if I was have to pick a favorite, I would say it was the Festool working knife for several reasons. Number one is the manufacturer does specify the grade of stainless steel. Number two is it's just really well weighted. I think it's actually done to an extremely high spec, and it's extremely economical. It's not expensive at all. I've seen much cheaper, much flimsier, much less quality knives be much more expensive. I mean, this is just good value for money, and I don't think you can go wrong with that particular knife. And yeah, that's it. The three everyday carries that I go for: the Festool working knife, the Stanley Fatmax Pocket Knife, and the Gerber ArmBar. I think they're pretty good value for money. Again, we weren't here to compare them with anything else. I know that anyone that watches utility knife reviews or watches pocket knife reviews or lock blade reviews or anything of that nature is going to have an opinion about the knives on the market. There is stuff that's indigenously made in the States. There's stuff that's handcrafted in Germany. There's stuff that's forged in the back mountains of Japan. There's a knife out there for every style, every personality, and every budget. Today's purpose was to just cover three utility knives that I think check a few boxes. They're good value for money, they're affordable, and they do what they say on the box. They do what they're supposed to do. So again, I don't think you can go wrong with them. The Festool working knife, the Stanley Fatmax Pocket Knife, and the Gerber ArmBar, technically a mini multi-tool. But anyway, thank you for being here, and again, thanks to all the subscribers. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. This channel is a hobby of mine. Again, it's exactly what the description of the video says. We're here to just provide some sound advice about what tools to buy and why. We're not in competition with anyone else, and I certainly don't have my ego wrapped around how many subscribers I get. I just started this channel literally for a bit of fun and a bit of utility, trying to give back to the community of YouTube and the community at large, because I check YouTube all the freaking time to check reviews, to see what people have to say about anything. And I look at everything from shotguns and rifles right through to washing machines. YouTube is a wonderful resource, and that's the reason I wanted to participate in it. I doubt I'm going to get rich doing it, because I think you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers to get anywhere in life, and I'm nowhere near that. So, but then again, that's not really my objective. To see the channel succeed in any way, shape, or form, even if there wasn't possibility of earning money, is what I want out of it. I would like to see the channel grow, and I would like it to help people find quality reviews about things they're interested in. So again, thank you for being here, and stay tuned, and please subscribe if you like what you see. We're going to try to bring out more content as soon as possible. See you soon.